Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups in Dallas. Glad to have you all here. There's plenty of seats in the front, so you are welcome to move forward if you like. We have a smaller audience than we typically do, but often what happens is people continue to roll in even as we get to 9:30 and a little bit later. So everyone is welcome to grab a seat and have fun this morning. So I'm Isabel. I'm the lead organizer for 1 Million Cups in Dallas. There are other chapters as well. So we always like to give a shout out to them. We have a chapter in Irving, which just launched last month. They run 1 Million Cups once a month in the steady. We also have a chapter in Frisco, in Addison, and in Fort Worth. Is this anyone's first time here at 1 Million Cups? Perfect. We've got 3 newbies. Welcome. We always have new people in the audience, and we always want new people. So if you enjoyed today, we'd love for you to share the event with your friends. Hello, Will. Nice to see you. Yeah. So our sponsor is the Deck and Capital Factory. This is the space that we're sitting in now. I will tell you a little bit about what 1 Million Cups is, and then I'll tell you about the 2 other organizations that sponsor us. So 1 Million Cups has been around actually for 6 years. Started in Missouri by the Kauffman Foundation. This says 5 years because it's been 5 years in Dallas, and we'll be having our 5-year anniversary in November. So it's super exciting. The point of it is to connect entrepreneurs, to really build community. And when they first started, it was because a couple of people at Kauffman didn't know enough of these small business owners. So they decided to invite them and learn from them and hear their story. And it turned into the scenario of getting presenters on stage, having cups of coffee and conversation. So that's what 1 Million Cups means. It probably sounds unusual or sounded unusual when you first heard, like, what is 1 Million Cups? It's in reference to 1 million conversations over 1 million cups of coffee. And we've probably reached that number because the organization is now in 172, or maybe, sorry, I believe it's 182 markets across the US. And that number keeps changing because we're volunteer run, and so sometimes people launch a chapter in their city and it's very difficult, and sometimes what happens is they drop off and it doesn't work anymore. But with that happening, there's another 2 or 3 chapters that open up, within the next few months. And as I told you, here in Dallas, we have, in the DFW Metroplex, we have 5 of us, so it's pretty awesome. And there's enough of a market, enough entrepreneurs here for it to sustain just fine. So what you'll see today is you'll see 2 presenters present. They'll each have 6 minutes, and then we'll do 15 minutes of question and answer. So we are looking for attendee participation. The goal for the entrepreneur is to hear from you. They'd love to hear what you have to say, whether it's comments or questions, so that they are learning in the process. That's what this is about. Sometimes people think it's sort of they're looking for investment. They might be, but the goal of this is not to ask for investment, so no one's asking you for money here today. It's just about sharing their story, and then maybe you might have something to say that's going to help them go back into their business plan and make the edits and updates and awesome improvements because they learned something from you. So it's definitely a 2-way thing, or maybe it's 30 of you to 1 person. Okay, so we have an app. We'd love for you to check in. This is the way that we know, who's here. I think most of you are registered on this app already, but we'd love for you to still check in, because then that way we can see, who showed up, and sometimes we give a prize to somebody, like someone on that list. And after the presenters finish their presentation, you can leave feedback. So that's one of the best ways to let them know also about their presentation, and just ask like 3 quick questions. And then you can also, there's a space for you to leave more detailed information. And yeah, so you can connect with people that are in other cities there as well and follow other chapters. So also I want to mention, Capital Factory is the place that we're in right now. They started in Austin, and I think it's important that I mention the difference between the 2, because often people come here and they're not really sure where they are. So Capital Factory is a for-profit organization, and they're in the business also of helping entrepreneurs. They work with a lot of startups. They do have co-working, they have a co-working space for businesses that want to be part of their circle. And what they do is really help with mentorship, and they also connect startups to VCs as well. They're big in Austin, and they're definitely making their mark here in Dallas. And then we have the DEC, and the DEC is a nonprofit organization. They sort of serve in the same way, like connecting to other entrepreneurs and mentors, and their goal really is to be the first resource. So if you are somebody that knows nothing about business, but you've got this awesome idea, you don't know where to go, the DEC is a great first choice, okay? And they're a nonprofit member, so I think it's important to mention that. Okay, so we will talk about Dallas Baptist University soon. They're our sponsor for coffee. They're keeping us caffeinated all month. And during the break, we will welcome them to the stage. So let's get started with our first presenter. We are going to welcome Garbitrage, which is the second that you're seeing there, the green logo. Garbitrage is being represented by Steve Magnum today, so we do welcome him to the stage with a round of applause. He'll have 6 minutes to present, and we'll just start clapping. So if he's running over, we'll start clapping. Welcome to the stage, Steve.
Thanks. Let's talk trash, y'all. This picture was taken on March 22nd, 1987, which happened to be my birthday, not my first. It was a barge leaving New York City Harbor looking for a place to dump this trash. They went down the eastern seaboard, didn't find a place. Florida wouldn't take it, went through the Gulf of Mexico, Alabama, Texas wouldn't take it, went down to Mexico, they wouldn't take it, went down to Belize, and Belize wouldn't take it, so they sailed it back up to Brooklyn, New York, and burned it. And the sad part about this is that 70 or 80% of that could be recycled or reused. You know, when we look at this, we think it's trash, it's really assets. We're with Garbitrage Technology, we're automating the waste industry. The big problem in trash today in the waste industry is that the haulers, the more trash there is, the more they have to haul and dispose of, so the more money that they make. The other big problem is that their profits are aligned with the amount of waste, but also they control all of the information. So it creates problems with trust, transparency, and tracking. Here's an example of that. Los Angeles, last year in December, there were over 6,100 hauls missed. That's hauls that they were being charged for. And then in January, there were 5,800 hauls missed. And I like the caption that says, after peak in December, haulers collection more under control. Yeah, 5,800, woohoo! They got it under control, you know. Okay, here's an example of lack of tracking. Right here in Dallas, this is from Dallas Morning News. They had an article that says 1/5 of recycled from 14 cities and subdivisions were dumped in landfills. Audit reveals over a 21-month period. That means it had been going on for 21 months and nobody knew about it. That's a lot of recycled materials. 8,337 tons, or the weight is 47 Boeing 777s. Our system doesn't pay for the haul until it's delivered to the proper location, so they'd find out about it on the very first haul. It wouldn't go on for 21 months, or they wouldn't get paid. If you order Uber to give you a ride somewhere and they took you the wrong place, would you pay them? No, you know, so our system doesn't pay until it's taken to the recycle center or whatever. This is the target market is basically commercial waste. It's $21 million in the United States alone. That's that's commercial waste, general trash, non-medical, non-toxic kind of trash. Okay, here's a case study that we did. Down in Austin, there's a manufacturer. They had 3 3-yard containers that were being picked up 5 hauls a week. We did a study. One was a 4 full, one was half full, and one was completely full on average. It's being picked up 5 times a week. For $4,200 a month was their bill. We took, half of it was cardboard. We found a recycler that would pick it up for free. We lowered to 2 containers, a 4 and a 5 yard, 3 times a week, and their bill went from $4,200 to $840. big savings, 80%. The case study 2 is a small office building that on average they were getting picked up once a week, and on average it was less than a fourth full. So we went to once a month, easy math there. It went from $610 to $180 a month, which is about a 70% savings. What we're doing, we're combining an Internet of Things sensor with the blockchain, plus tokenizing the assets. That's a prototype of our sensor. Here's the sensor that's fully operational and in service now. We're doing pilot studies. On our pilot test, we're implementing right now, we gather 1 month of raw data. We do our proprietary analysis on that data. We get a letter of authority to renegotiate the waste and the recycle contract, and we split the cost savings with the client. If we can't save them money, there's no fee at all. So they have nothing to lose. Basically, this says we've got our sensors, and we're going into implementing the blockchain and the tokenization of the recyclable materials. Here's some of our players and advisors, some pretty big names. This is our core team. We have, our advisors have a collective of over 150 years of experience in the waste industry. We're tokenizing those assets. There was a time when the dollar bill was backed by a gold standard, where our token is being backed by the plastic and the cardboard and the tin and aluminum and the metals that are being recycled. So, and also it's being backed by the services that we offer, like the hauling services and the waste service. So the way that you can help us is join our pilot program. If you know, here's our 5 major markets: hotels, office buildings, apartment complexes, restaurants, and manufacturers. If you know of any of these, we're looking for business owners or property managers that want to slash their waste bills. And if you refer those to us or work with us to get those contracts, we'll even give you a referral fee.
All right, awesome presentation. We're now going to start the Q&A. First question, my name is Chris. As a community, what can Dallas do for you?
Well, first of all, Dallas has passed a recycle ordinance that every apartment complex, multifamily apartment complexes, are required to recycle by January 1st of 2020. So if you know of any apartment managers, or especially like property owners of apartment complexes, multifamily business in the city of Dallas, those are great people to get on our pilot study. Just tell them, I know a company that'll do it for free. You know, they save you on your waste bill. If they can, they split it with you. If they can't, you know, it's a free service. Would you talk to them? So the other thing is investment. You know, it's going to take a lot of money to put the waste industry on the blockchain and that kind of thing. So if there's people interested in investing, you know, send them our way.
All right, any more questions?
So is the product the sensor that you're building?
No, it's actually, the sensor is really a small piece of it. The product is the automated service, because everything we're doing manually right now.
Okay, so the sensor initiates a notification to you guys, and then you deploy the truck to pick up the waste.
Right.
Because of the time it takes, you're reducing the labor that's associated with the traditional method of doing that.
Correct.
So where does the blockchain and where does the tokenization come in?
Okay, so we're basically Uberizing the waste industry.
Okay.
Okay, the sensor will sense when it's full and tell us what's in there. Okay, and with that information,
How does it know what's in the garbage can?
we have photograph.
Okay, so it's taking pictures as it's being dumped.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so the sensors are in the unit itself, so it's taking pictures. And with that information, we locate a market for anything. We know how much, say, cardboard is in there and whether or not it's marketable. And if the system or us right now manually will find the market for that, okay, and figure out the pricing. And once the product is delivered to the proper location, it's paid for.
So before that process happens, does the dumpster or recycle bin get picked up and then go to some type of sorting facility to sort out those particles, like the cardboard or the plastic or the copper that you're getting pictures of?
Usually they have more than one container. So from a single stream, you're talking like single stream, and then they sort it, right? This will work best in like, we'll be able to see if it's a marketable amount and provide another container.
But then how does the pieces come out of the original container? Does it go to a sorting facility in order to?
No, they're pre-sorted. They're pre-sorted.
Okay.
You know, like the, manufacturing facility, they sort out the cardboard. They have a whole lot of cardboard, or it'll be cardboard and aluminum.
So do you supply the actual container itself to the apartment complex with the sensor already embedded, or do you go out and put the sensor in their existing container?
We're putting sensors in their containers.
And then how much does that cost? Is it free?
Yeah, right now it's free with the savings. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're putting the sensor in and monitoring for 1 month. Eventually, it'll be continual.
Okay.
Along the lines of his question, pre-sorted meaning the apartment complex has to sort it, then you guys pick it up, is that it?
Yeah, there'll be a recycle bin and a trash bin.
Because I know my apartment complex, aluminum, plastic, garbage, cardboard, all is in one container, so that will have to be sorted by somebody.
Not necessarily, because there's, usually goes to they call them recyclers, but they're really technically an upcycler, okay? They don't actually melt down the plastic, they sort it.
So they're going to be doing
So it goes to
sorting.
the
That's
recycle
what he's
center,
asking.
and that's where it's generally
Yeah.
sorted.
So, okay, that's what he was asking.
Right.
Those are the people doing the.
Yeah, you'll have aluminum and plastic and cardboard in one contain,
Right.
one dumpster.
Okay, you took my question. I'm gonna come up with something else. What does the education piece look like for the hotels, office buildings? Because to tie into that question, I'm still not understanding the separation piece of the recycling part of it. So you're educating the hotels, office buildings to go ahead and sort the stuff first, and then put it in the dumpster. Your sensors tell if this dumpster is full before sending someone to come out and take that out on a route. It's a little bit.
I gotta be real careful how I answer that one.
Okay.
We're working on that one, and I can't, that's a big problem that, we're looking for, where we have automation that could mitigate that a lot, and I can't go too deep into it.
I think the generates like, it's like if you live in a house right now, if you live in a house right now, you have a recycle bin and you have a regular bin, right? It's called single stream, of all your recyclables go into a single stream. So at the beginning, that's kind of where it would be. That's what the city of Dallas, that's what they approved for apartment complexes, right? All recyclables in one bin, all the non-recyclables in another bin. And they have this big, huge facility out, and the recyclables are either gonna go to what he called an upstream, or they'll go to the recycle facility.
Can you tell us who you are, ma'am?
Oh, I'm Kim Hall, and I'm consulting with Garbitrage.
Yeah, she's with us.
Oh, fantastic. So my question is, how much does it cost the property manager to invest and get this set up to begin with? And how do you show them the savings over time? 'Cause what comes to mind with the education piece is, training people about solar panels on their home. I don't know, the upfront costs are pretty high. I don't, maybe I missed it, I didn't hear it, if you shared it. Is there an initial investment that then has a cost savings over 5 years or something like this?
Free.
It's free.
Is that-
Okay,
is it gonna stay
so,
free?
We buy the sensor, we install the sensor, we monitor the sensor. There's probably gonna be around a $20 a month fee for some of the monitoring, but
Okay.
it's more than made up with the cost savings.
okay, so it sounds like low risk for the property manager. How about for you? Isn't it very expensive for you to install this for the property managers? What does your revenue model look like?
It isn't that expensive. The install is $50 to $100. We have an install service. Right now we're doing it ourselves, but we have a nationwide install service that will do it for around between $50 and $100. So we have risk in it. So we got probably $100 altogether for the first month, and those savings from $4,200 to $840 are monthly, and that's on a 3-year contract. So do the math on that. We've got $100 in it. Say we save them $3,000, $36,000 a year for 3 years. You're looking at $96,000 on a $100 investment on a big, nice account like that. The other was sort of more marginal, but on average, we're looking at about a 40% savings, and we split that, so we're netting out 20% of the savings. Even a small account, we did an office building, small training center that had a $165 a month bill. We took it to $100 a month. Okay, so it's like $65 a month, right? But it's over 3 years. So, we took the first month's savings, the first year savings, and gave them the second too, so it's $831. And that's like a very small, pretty much the smallest contract you could get. We're still profitable.
Right. Hi, sorry. You might have said this early in your presentation, I missed the first part, I apologize. Do you hire the garbage trucks and the garbage man to pick it up, or do you outsource that to somebody else, or?
Okay, so we're in the first phase of implementation. Okay, so we're working with the haulers that they have now, or if their contract is up, we'll renegotiate with another hauler if it's cheaper. We'll locate someone cheaper in better service and the like. Ultimately, the system will have all that knowledge, and all of the decisions and the knowledge that we have will be automated and programmed into the blockchain and the token to where it does what we're doing manually automatically. We'll basically supply the application. We're creating a decentralized application that you'll download it and install the sensor and start saving money.
So is the ultimate goal to say, I got a full garbage bin, somebody go pick it up, and I said, like Uber, hey, I'll take this garbage can, I'll go pick it up and say, as opposed to signing a contract with somebody?
Correct. It'll be on demand. The sensor will tell it when it's full, so they're not emptying out empty containers. So it'll save about 30% of the fuel, the equipment cost, the driver cost. Okay, they'll be emptying out full containers, and it'll be going to the recycle center instead of the dump. So it'll place the call, be picked up, taken to the proper location, and immediately paid for it. Now, the big feature of this is reward system. If I'm trying to train my dog to bark, okay, I don't have a whole meal for him. I got a little bitty piece of food, right? And I say bark, and he barks. If I say, okay, now I'm going to give this to you next week, he's not going to keep barking very long, right? But if he barks and I immediately give him the reward, the incentive for barking, he's going to learn to bark. Well, people are the same way. Even though we don't have a large amount of money, we'll be able to give an immediate response for doing the right thing, for recycling instead of throwing it away.
All right, we got time for one more question.
Kind of two parts, but how much do the sensors cost to you? And then what is y'all's timeline for automation?
I'm not answering the first question. And we're building the blockchain and the tokenization beginning last quarter this year and first quarter next year. So you're looking at 3 to 6 months before we have an alpha version of it. It won't be, you know, where we end up. It won't be the Cadillac. It'll be the Volkswagen rollout. You know. So I mean, we're making money right now. We're doing pilot studies and making money. It's just the scalability and, you know, the profitability and the scalability isn't as great as when we get it all. Thank you.
All right, let's do a round of applause for Steve.
Thank you. Okay, so it is 9:45. We started a little bit late today. We normally run until about 10 o'clock, so if anybody does have to leave, it's okay if you quietly exit. We are going to go a little bit over today, probably by about 10 minutes or so, but we'd love for you to stay. Thank you for presenting, Steve. We hope you can stay afterwards so people can meet you directly, because I don't know if all the questions got out, so people will need to talk to you one-on-one. And maybe there'll be some questions that you weren't able to answer on stage and you'll answer in private. I'm curious to know about the kickbacks that tenants will want if the landlord is charging 20 to 30 bucks for trash every month. I want a kickback if they're going to be saying, I don't want to pay that much for my valley trash anymore. Okay, so thanks so much to our sponsors. We are in Capital Factory and The Deck. Thanks for continuing to host us here every single Wednesday. Thank you to Michael Bruner, who runs a video production company. He takes the professional high-res photos and gets them up on Instagram for us. And he also captures the video to get the full presentation and post it on YouTube and also on the 1 Million Cups Dallas website. So if you ever miss a presentation, you can go there and play it back. And thank you to Dallas Baptist University for being with us. You're keeping our coffee cups full, and we're so grateful to have you here and for sharing the new program you launched last year. I just found out that they're one of the fastest growing programs right now. So that's super exciting news. I want to welcome Stephanie to the stage so she can share their message with you directly. Welcome, Stephanie.
Good morning. Yes, as she said, we are a new program at Dallas Baptist University. Sharon Gorgapiti, he's actually here with us today. He's our program director. He launched this program about a year ago, or exactly a year ago, and we have currently 75 students within 1 year, and many of them are graduating this December, and we're very proud of them. And so our program is a 36-hour program. It incorporates technology with leadership and also management. So it's really taking a look at technology and learning, how does this work in a business? How can I understand the process of technology within my business and be able to manage that using leadership skills as well? And so just as we look to the future, I think it's good to reevaluate how am I addressing situations in the company? Am I just hiring out, or am I really understanding the process well? So our program is for the working adult. We have evening classes, weekend classes, online classes. And if you have any information or questions that you would like to work with us in the future, your business, we really want to partner with local companies, entrepreneurs, and really get to know our community well. And so if you have any questions, just feel free to holler at us, and we'll be glad to answer that. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. So our next presenter, it has been with us before, but it's been over a year. The company's called ROBOAMP. They are speeding up the time that websites load. His name is Roberto, and many of you have probably seen him in the startup community. We love having people come back like a year later and see how their businesses have improved, what they've done since their last time presenting. And we know that Roberto has a lot of great things. He's had a number of successes that have also come out of being on our stage first. He's also presented at some of the other 1 million cups. So wondering, has anybody seen him present before? Okay, good. Less than half. So you have pretty much a new audience today, Roberto. Glad to have you back. Let's welcome you to the stage with a round of applause as well. You'll have 6 minutes.
Well, first I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank all the work that you guys do here at 1 Million Cups. I want to thank the DEC and the Capital Factory for hosting this event. It's really an honor for me to be in front with you, some of the best entrepreneurs in Texas. So I want to share something that happened to me just a couple of months ago. In July, I was invited to a web performance conference at Google, and I was talking with one of the world's experts on web performance. And he said something to me. He said something to me that had me thinking ever since. He said something to me that changed what I think is important about what we're doing at ROBOAMP. He said, you are providing web performance as a service. And that's exactly what we're doing at ROBOAMP. Raise your hand if you have a website or if your company has a website. And if you have a website, okay, awesome. Do you know that there are 15,000 new websites every single day? We know that 70% close to between 65 and 70% of people leaves a website if it takes longer than 3 seconds to load. The average download speed for a website, especially in mobile, is 7 seconds. We know that there is a direct correlation between page download speed and performance. So we started working ROBOAMP because it's something personal to us. We love the web, we use the web for everything, but the current state of the mobile web is terrible. The web and mobile should be something kind of an amazing experience, but it's also always a pain. So the web performance is the solution to all these problems. If you have a fast website, people are going to spend more time in your website. You're going to have a much lower bounce rate. People are going to consume more content, and people are going to spend more money on your website. Now, if you're thinking that if you have a faster website, that will be the answer to all these problems, you'll be right. Now, the problem with web performance is, first, it's expensive. It takes a lot of time, and it's fairly complex. So when we started working on ROBOAMP, we decided to work something that is going to solve all these problems. Can we create something that's going to be super easy to install, as easy as copying and pasting one line of code? That's everything you have to do. Something that is very cheap for a company to implement, and something that can be designed to scale to millions of websites. So we thought that we could answer all these problems, and so we did. I'm going to explain more how this works on the technology behind it in the question section. But basically what we do is we take your website, we take your HTML, like I said, all you have to do is add one line of code, and we rewrite everything. We make it into a different format that is called AMP. We submit to Google, and then your website is going to load in 1 second or less. Our go-to-market strategy was something that came out actually from presenting here at 1 Million Cups. The first time that we presented at 1 Million Cups, our first customers came out from 1 Million Cups. So our go-to-market is a response to that demand that we had. So our first customers were a web shop, so a company that already had clients, and then we had an advertisement agency, and then we had a couple of startups as our customers. So our go-to-market made sense for us to sell our product as a white-label solution. Basically, we are a B2B SaaS company, but anyone can go to ROBOAMP.com, create a website, everything is working right now. So how do we make money? We're a startup, we don't make money. So basically it costs $30 a month for the service, you pay $30 a month and your website keeps working. We have an initial fee of $250. That is for the template, for the different pages that you have, and that is much lower than what you pay on SEO. The technology that we're using is the biggest change in SEO in the last 15 years, and probably you have seen it already. If you Google anything in your phone, you're probably going to see a carousel with results that has a ladybug in it. That is a cue for the user that says this website is AMP, the technology that we created, and it's going to load super fast. We had a series of very aggressive goals. We wanted to have our MVP ready, and we reached that goal. So you can go to ROBOAMP.com, create your account, We are part of YC Startup School program. We opened our beta to other companies in our group, and we had amazing feedback. So if you want to go and check it out, you can go to ROBOAMP.com. Then we were raising, we're not raising money anymore, but still in the slide. We were raising a pre-seed round, and our goal is to reach 1,000 customers for Q4 next year, and we think that is very doable. We are already in conversation with one of the largest hosting companies in Latin America, and so those are our goals. And that's the thing. I'm a software engineer. I have a couple of years of experience. I don't want to date myself. My co-founder is a lawyer. He was the first guy to bring Douglas Pipe share to the country. And then Sean is our CFO. He made all the numbers for us, so we know that if we reach that goal, we're going to be profitable next year. We are ROBOAMP, and we make the way faster. That's what I got.
Thank you so much for that update. We will now open up the floor for questions, but the first question is always, what can we as a community do for you?
I'm very grateful to the community. There is a Slack channel for people who don't know, excuse me, where you post updates or stuff for people to test and entrepreneurs go. So the community always having, I'm so grateful for all the help that you guys provide to me. I want to do something different this time. I want to open to all of you a free beta of our product, so you can go and test it for free. You don't have to pay anything. So that's one of the ways that I want to say thank you to the community. Just shoot me an email or sign up or give me a note or something like that, and you can test our product for free.
So, is there two parts to this? The first part is you can take a small piece of code and throw it into your website, and then that registers with Google, so Google serves it up faster. And then I guess you guys have an actual platform that you built out that you can design on, where the code's already embedded, so you don't have to put
So
it
the
in.
question is how it works?
Yeah.
So that's an excellent question. So how it works is super simple. Like I said, one line of code, and that is as complex. If you ever copy and paste Google Analytics, it's exactly the same. You just copy and paste one line that our software generates for you. That line of code has an ID that belongs to your website, so we know where the request is coming from. You put that line of code in the help section of your website. So what is going to happen is, next time that Google is going to crawl your website, it's going to find that line of code. That line of code basically tells Google, hey Google, we have another version of our website, and it's hosted here. That here is our server, and obviously it has URL. When Google visits our server, our scripts put out, rewrites the whole HTML into AMP HTML, check that there is no error, that's a super important part, and submit to Google. What is happening next is Google is going to validate that the output of that operation is correct, and it's going to create thousands of copies of your website, and it's going to store it in something that is called AMP cache. So next time that someone clicks on those links, one of the reasons why it loads so fast is because it's going to be loading from Google on server.
So you're eliminating the cached sites and
So you're eliminating the cached data in the site and then having Google replicate the newest version?
We do have different tools. So for instance, let's say that you are a blog or a newspaper and you are posting new content every single day. We do have tools to constantly keep pinging Google for updates. So it's not something that is kind of we send once. Depending on the functionality of the website, we do have tools to keep updating notifications.
So you're online all the time then? So it's constantly pinging, looking for the newest version?
Service is always active.
And then you also have a design platform where you can go and just design the site?
It's not really in our goals, in our immediate goal. We don't design website. That's something it's job for somebody else's. What we do is we speed up websites that already exist.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Any more questions? I have a question. How are customers finding you right now?
Well, obviously marketing is something that is super important. We have no budget whatsoever. So, like I said, these events have been great for us. Word of mouth, we just had a referral from one of our first customers to another advertising agency. What happened was, the first year, we knew that our competitors had a super bad experience. We know that their product is terrible, that our product is much better. And by the way, I have a demo ready in my laptop. We have some technical issues now. But if you want a demo, seeing how it works, I'm happy to do the demo for you after the presentation. So what I wanted to say is, the first year of the company instead of going out there and trying to sell our product, we went heads down to code, growing, until we felt that our product was ready for prime time, and now is the time, right? So right now, if you sign up and you see everything, your page is going to look beautiful. We knew that we wanted to create a first impression totally different than our competitors, so that's why the first year was always development.
Very nice. If you have a question, now's the time to ask, or I can just keep asking my questions. Isabel has a question.
So part of this, I mean, can you tell us why it's important for things to be faster? Like, I get it. We want things instantly right now, but how are you talking to clients so that they really see the value proposition here?
So that's an excellent question. Why having a website matters, right? A fast website matters. There are a couple of reasons. One of the most important happened just a couple of months ago when Google announced that the speed of mobile directly affects your search results. So basically, if you have a mobile website that is super slow, you're going to automatically start losing ranking on Google, and we know how important Google is in terms of SEO. That's why I said this is one of the biggest changes on SEO in the last 15 years. So that's one. If you care about SEO, if you care about conversion rate, 60% of people leaving your website just because your website is slow, that's insane, right? And so obviously conversion rates and all that kind of stuff. That's why it's important to have a fast website.
So do you guys have a tool that you can essentially say, a tool that measures the load speed of the site?
Yes.
Nice.
We have a couple questions.
So I may have missed this, but a little while back, Google announced that they were going to start integrating AMP with email and opening that up for that reason. Is there an advantage to using your product to use AMP in the email browser as well?
So I want to explain a little more what he meant. Google announced that probably 7 months ago that they're going to do AMP for email, which is crazy. So imagine that you have an email from JCPenney and you're looking for shoes, and you can, in the email itself, without you having to jump into a different browser, in the email itself, you can change the color or the size or the model, everything in the mail. You can pay in the email without having to jump into a different platform. So that is what is coming, and it's going to be amazing. It's called AMP for email. So our product right now, we're working in AMP for email. AMP has different projects. One is AMP for email. We're working on that. It's not the core of our product, but it's something that we're working on.
What I wanted to ask was, with varying factors such as like internet speed, and then everyone's different mobile devices, and then everyone having different data storages, does ROBOAMP guarantee that the website will still continue to run fast even despite those factors?
So what happened is we don't host the pages. We don't host the output of our operation, that rereading code. We don't host that. So it's not up to us. It depends on Google. Google obviously wants people to use this technology. That's why they feature those websites in that carousel that I mentioned earlier. So it's not up to us to say if it's going to be available or not. It depends on Google. But Google has a large history of being very good at having data service apps. So it's not up to us. What we do is, it happens in literally 1 second. When Google visits your website, we go to your website, grab the HTML, rewrite everything, send back to Google, and our operation finished there. So if your website is going to be up or down, it's not up to us, it's up to Google.
So to me, it seemed like companies that are SEO companies and web builders would be excellent partners for you. Have you started creating those partnerships with them to market your product?
Yes, that's exactly our go-to-market strategy, because we don't want to spend money or resources or even educating people when you can go and partnership with them. And when we partner with webshop agencies, for instance, they already have their customers. We want to leverage those customer relationships that they already have. The second reason is when we go to them and we say, hey, we have this product for you, instead of we competing with them, we are creating an extra source of revenue for them. So that's why it makes sense to partner with them.
Do you have stats on at what point people typically decide not to go to a website if it hasn't loaded, and at what point does ROBOAMP kick in to deliver the site faster so that doesn't happen?
What we know is that once you had a bad experience with the website slow loading, is that 80% of people don't come back to that website. So these numbers are huge. We're not talking about 5% or 10%, which are important. That means that if you have a website, you have to truly ask yourself how many customers you lose today.
All right, we have time for one more question. Isabel?
As your company continues to grow, where do you see your, given an exit strategy, what is your plan for this moving forward? Let's say over the next 2 to 3 years.
We're not thinking in an exit strategy, to be honest. We know there are several steps or several paths that sounds natural, like acquisition for all these huge companies that already have websites, like just from the top of my head, Wix or Squarespace, all those companies that already generate. We were in conversation, or started the conversation with one of the biggest WordPress hosting providers in the world, because they already have websites. So it would be much easier for their customers to go to the control panel and say, make my website fast, and underlying that is our technology. So partnership is something that we are really working hard on. Actually, my co-founder, Luke, right now is in San Francisco talking with clients. So we don't think in an exit strategy. What we want to be is we want to be a company that's going to be the standard for web optimization. AMP in itself is just our go-to-market. We have a lot of different tools, also for desktop websites, right? We have ways to compress images, ways to compress JavaScript and CSS and HTML all on the fly. So we have a variety of tools that we are using ourselves for our own development. So we don't want to be just the company that makes AMP website. We want to be the company that after you have the website, your own website, we go and fix everything so it looks beautiful and it does super fast.
Yes. Quick, you said your co-founder's in San Francisco?
Yes.
Your co-founder based there?
No, he's here in Dallas, but he traveled to have some meetings.
My next question was going to be, do you have to move ROBOAMP
To California, but obviously not, right?
No.
You're staying in Dallas. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
we stay here.
Very nice, thank you so much. If you have any more questions for ROBOAMP or any of our other presenters, please stick around afterwards for some networking and to ask more questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Sorry, there's another announcement. I apologize. Dallas Baptist University is doing a raffle, actually, so if anybody would like to leave their business card, they have, can you pass that to me? Do you mind, Monica? Thanks. They have this bowl. So it's not obligatory, but if you would like to, you can, they'll obviously connect with you if you leave your card in here, so they're happy to do that. And they're happy to give you a prize, potentially, as well. Thanks. And I also want to mention about the co-working that Capital Factory is offering. You do need to just stay in the open area that's down here in the VR room. The conference rooms are off limits because they are paid spaces, as well as upstairs, it's off limits as well. If you would like to do a tour, Kevin Cook is the operations manager for Capital Factory, and he's happy to do a tour at about 10:20, which is in only about 15 minutes. So if you can stick around to then, that'd be great. And you need to check in with Luna at the front desk if you're going to be staying here to co-work, because as a security reason, they need to know who's here, who's staying, but you're all definitely welcome to stay for the day. It is free to co-work here today. Thank you so much. Please stick around. Glad to have you here. We'll see you next week.